What if the most powerful decision an older woman can make isn't about family, money, or health, but simply choosing to live alone? Society calls it loneliness. I call it liberation. Today I'm sharing 12 signs that living alone might be exactly right for you, and I'll bring each one to life with real stories, because this isn't theory. This is lived truth. 1. You value your peace more than anything. Peace is priceless. Mrs. Anita, 72, described how after decades of raising children and managing a chaotic household, her world was saturated with noise, demands, endless chatter, and relentless obligations. The morning she moved into her own small apartment and finally drank her tea in silence. Watching the sunrise while birds sang outside, she wept. That stillness, she said, felt like medicine for her soul. Living alone allows older women to place inner calm above societal pressure. You owe no one an explanation for your silence. You can reflect, meditate, rest, or simply exist without justification. Peace protects mental and physical health alike. It dissolves stress and sharpens clarity in decision-making. When your surroundings grow quiet, your mind becomes fertile for creativity, contentment, and genuine joy. Many women I meet postpone choosing solitude because they fear judgment. But Mrs. Anita's story reminds us that peace isn't selfishness. It is wisdom. Choosing a life that honors your need for stillness is courage, not retreat, and it positions you to live more fully as every passing year deepens your grace and experience. 2. You feel drained by constant company. Some relationships, however loving, quietly exhaust you. Mrs. Lata, 70, lived alongside her children and grandchildren, but emerged from every gathering emotionally hollow. She adored them, yet the relentless noise and endless obligations were slowly draining her dry. When she moved into a cozy, independent apartment, her vitality returned. The first week brought guilt. Was she abandoning them? Gradually, she understood that her happiness resurfaced whenever she had space to rest, read, or simply breathe. Living alone isn't isolation. It's a deliberate decision to guard your emotional well-being. When you feel perpetually drained, you cannot offer your best to anyone, including yourself. Energy management becomes essential with age. Choosing solitude lets women recharge, regain clarity, and engage with loved ones intentionally rather than from obligation alone. This transformation can deepen every relationship. Visits become cherished rather than burdensome. Mrs. Lata now welcomes her family with genuine warmth precisely because she also honors her own boundaries. Recognizing when you're emotionally depleted is a powerful signal that living alone could restore your balance, happiness, and sense of personal freedom. 3. You want freedom to make your own decisions. Mrs. Priya, 74, reflected on decades of compromising for family choices. What to cook, where to go, how to fill every hour. She had lost complete touch with her own preferences. Moving into her own home returned something irreplaceable: autonomy. She chose her meals, designed her schedule, and even selected her curtain colors without consulting a single soul. Living alone restores ownership over your life, a gift most people never fully appreciate. Autonomy in older age builds self-respect and deepens confidence. The freedom to make choices, even seemingly trivial daily ones, creates profound ownership of life's direction. Mrs. Priya rebuilt routines that genuinely suited her, reading novels late into the night, walking whenever the mood struck, revisiting spiritual practices she had long abandoned. Independence doesn't isolate, it emboldens. The joy of having your voice matter most, of living by your own values and choices, is extraordinary. When older women recognize this hunger, it signals that living alone isn't about loneliness. It's about reclaiming dignity, control, and the right to live authentically, full of purpose, freedom, and genuine self-expression. 4. You prefer your own routine over others. Life deepens when you honor your natural rhythms. Mrs. Veena, 73, discovered her creative energy surged at night, but family life demanded early bedtimes and loud mornings. Moving alone transformed everything. She woke at 3 in the morning to write poetry and paint for uninterrupted hours. Your body and mind follow unique internal cycles. Living alone lets you respect them completely. Healthy routines are vital in older age. They regulate sleep, nutrition, mental clarity, and overall vitality. When imposed schedules clash against natural rhythms, fatigue and stress multiply. Mrs. Rekha found that honoring her personal rhythm dramatically improved her mood, concentration, and creative output. She shed guilt and stopped feeling rushed. Her evenings, once consumed by group television, became sacred time for reflection and personal expression. Living alone creates space to build habits aligned with your body, mind, and spirit. Whether that means rising before dawn for meditation, cooking slowly and thoughtfully, or pursuing creative passions at unconventional hours, the freedom is yours entirely. Recognizing this preference is a telling sign that solitude can profoundly elevate your quality of life. It isn't about withdrawing from others. It's about honoring your internal clock and your deeply personal way of living gracefully. 5. You want to protect your mental health. Family love is irreplaceable, but relentless conflict and pressure can silently damage your mental well-being. Mrs. Savita, 75, spent years absorbing family tension, mediating arguments, and carrying emotional burdens that were never truly hers. Anxiety crept in. Insomnia followed. Her mood grew unpredictable. After choosing to live alone, calm returned. Clarity replaced confusion. Mental health in older age is genuinely fragile. Living alone can create the protective buffer needed to maintain emotional peace. It opens space for reflection, meditation, and the honest pursuit of joy, free from external pressure. Mrs. Savita began taking daily walks, maintaining a gratitude journal, not in nurturing friendships without family obligations constantly interfering. Protecting mental health is not selfishness. It is self-respect in its deepest form. When your mind quiets, your relationships improve, your body strengthens, and your spirit rises. Solitude becomes a vehicle for healing, for growth, and for emotional resilience. Choosing to live alone represents a conscious and courageous step toward prioritizing mental well-being, sustaining emotional balance, and ensuring that your remaining years are lived with dignity, joy, and genuine purpose rather than persistent tension and quiet suffering. 6. You have your own financial independence. Financial independence is empowerment made real. Miss Shalini, 68, managed her pension savings, not in daily costs without assistance from anyone. Living alone wasn't a hardship. It was freedom. She traveled, dined wherever she wished, and decorated her home exactly as she desired. Financial control empowers older women to make confident choices, ensuring they remain beholden to nobody. It allows them to live securely, comfortably, and with complete dignity. Miss Shalini even funded a community library, channeling her passions outward without needing anyone's permission. Money, when managed with wisdom, becomes a tool for autonomy rather than anxiety. For women who spent years in financial dependence, independence in older age feels like a genuine rebirth. It generates pride, security, and deep peace of mind. Living alone becomes both practical and profoundly empowering when finances are stable. It transforms solitude into liberation. When women recognize their financial capacity to live independently, it signals unmistakably that life is prepared for this next chapter. They can embrace safety, freedom, and the quiet joy of choosing without compromise. 7. you enjoy solitude without feeling lonely. Many people confuse solitude with loneliness. Mrs. Kamla, 74, discovered this truth after moving into her own apartment. Initially, she braced for emptiness, convinced that living alone would leave her desolate. Instead, solitude revealed itself as liberation. She spent mornings reading poetry, afternoons tending her garden, and evenings deepening her meditation practice. The quiet granted her space to reflect deeply, reconnect with herself, and rediscover hobbies she had completely abandoned. Loneliness is the painful absence of connection. Solitude is a deliberate, nourishing choice to spend time with yourself. Living alone allows older women to develop inner peace, resilience, and genuine contentment. Mrs. Kamla even began hosting intimate weekend tea gatherings with neighbors, proving beautifully that solitude and community are not opposites. When you genuinely enjoy your own company, emotional independence grows. You stop constantly seeking external validation and begin trusting your inner wisdom. Solitude cultivates creativity, patience, and clarity, all of which are essential ingredients for a truly fulfilling life. If you feel genuinely satisfied within your own quiet space without needing constant social stimulation, that is a clear sign that living alone could enrich your life and make your golden years truly golden. 8. You wish to explore your own interests. Later life is the perfect season to rediscover buried passions. Mrs. Sunita, 71, had always loved painting, but surrendered it entirely to family responsibilities. Once she moved alone, she enrolled immediately in a local art class. The transformation was profound. Living alone frees women to chase their dreams, whether painting, writing, learning music, or exploring the world. Mrs. Sunita eventually held her very first small public exhibition, leaving friends and family completely astonished by her talent. Pursuing your own interests is essential for emotional and mental vitality. Creative hobbies energize the mind, nurture self-expression, and generate authentic joy. It becomes genuinely difficult to dedicate yourself fully to personal passions while navigating others' routines or accommodating their expectations. Choosing solitude provides the space, time, and freedom to immerse yourself completely in what stirs your soul. Meaningful engagement in personal activities also builds a powerful sense of purpose, perhaps the single most vital ingredient for happiness in later years. If you feel drawn to explore your deepest interests without interference or compromise, that longing is a clear sign that living alone can provide the freedom to fully inhabit your life, rediscover yourself, and finally awaken your dormant potential. 9. You need emotional space from family drama. Family bonds are irreplaceable, but sometimes they quietly suffocate you. Mrs. Meena, 73, felt trapped inside a cycle of arguments and misunderstandings at home. Despite genuine love and care from her children, the unrelenting tension was eroding both her health and her happiness. Moving to her own apartment gave her the emotional breathing room she had desperately needed for years. Living alone doesn't mean rejecting family. It means fiercely protecting your well-being. Emotional space generates clarity, peace, and a healthier perspective. Mrs. Meena discovered she could communicate far more calmly with her children once she had genuine time alone. Distance fostered understanding rather than distance. By stepping back thoughtfully, she cultivated patience, dissolved anxiety, and strengthened her ability to respond with wisdom rather than reaction. Living alone helps older women establish healthy, loving boundaries while preserving deep respect and affection. If you feel mentally exhausted by recurring family conflicts, that exhaustion is a powerful signal that solitude can restore your balance, your capacity for self-care, and your peace. Emotional freedom is essential for personal growth and living alone often becomes a true sanctuary, a quiet place to recover, reflect, and return to your loved ones, carrying renewed compassion and hard-earned wisdom. 10. You are comfortable asking for help when needed. Living alone does not mean living without support. Mrs. Anju, 75, deliberately built a strong network of neighbors, trusted friends, and reliable health professionals. Whenever illness or practical needs arose, she reached out without shame or hesitation. Many women fear helplessness if they choose to live alone. But requesting help is profound wisdom, not weakness. Living independently builds confidence while ensuring safety and genuine care through carefully maintained connections. Yet ensures safety and care through conscious connections. Mrs. Anju even organized a small neighborhood circle where local seniors regularly checked on one another, weaving independence and community beautifully together. Living alone teaches women to be resourceful and deeply self-reliant while simultaneously recognizing the irreplaceable value of human support networks. It builds resilience, self-awareness, and personal accountability. The freedom of solitude coexists harmoniously with the security of reaching for help when circumstances genuinely demand it. Older women who master this balance can live alone with quiet confidence, knowing they can fully enjoy their independence while trusted support exists for emergencies or moments needing companionship. Choosing solitude reflects emotional maturity and practical wisdom, turning life into a beautifully balanced blend of self-reliance and deeply meaningful human connection. 11. You want to age gracefully on your own terms. Aging gracefully extends far beyond physical wellness. It means living in honest alignment with your values and rhythms. Mrs. Bhavna, 76, structured every day around yoga, meditation, wholesome nutrition, and spiritual study. Living alone allowed her to honor these practices without compromise, distraction, or apology. Aging gracefully demands consistency, discipline, and genuine peace, qualities far easier to maintain in chosen solitude. Independence empowers women to make their own decisions about health, spirituality, social engagement, and personal fulfillment. Mrs. Bhavna found that living alone reduced her stress dramatically and visibly increased her vitality. She felt genuine mastery over her own existence, something entirely impossible within a chaotic shared household. Solitude allows older women to prioritize self-care, preserve dignity, and find joy in small everyday moments. It encourages mindfulness, deep contentment, and authentic self-respect. If you long to spend your later years with intentionality, balance, and the freedom to honor your natural rhythms completely, that longing is a clear sign that living alone is not merely practical. It is profoundly liberating. It is choosing to fully honor yourself and the remarkable journey your life represents. 12. You desire a sense of true self-reliance. Ultimately, living alone is about empowerment and self-sufficiency. Mrs. Ria, 74, described the first time she cooked her own meals completely, managed her bills independently, and handled small household repairs herself. She said it felt like reclaiming her own life. Genuine self-reliance builds confidence, resilience, and quiet pride. Women who truly embrace solitude uncover inner strength and wisdom that years of dependency may have gradually buried. Living alone sharpens problem solving, nurtures resourcefulness, and builds genuine emotional independence. It is a celebration of capability and personal courage. When you rely on your own judgment, skills, and accumulated experience, life grows more authentic and deeply satisfying. Mrs. Ria shared that every small accomplishment powerfully reinforced her self-worth and brought her immense joy. Choosing solitude isn't about rejecting people. It's about cultivating self-sufficiency and living freely. For older women, This chapter is an extraordinary opportunity to live fully, fearlessly, and with complete dignity. Recognizing your own desire for self-reliance is the strongest signal of all that living alone could be your path, not merely to survival, but to genuinely thriving physically, emotionally, and spiritually, fully.